Now, with greater sophistication in medical technology and invention, leading to increased discoveries and clarity about diseases and their causes, there seems to be more determination by a lot of people to embrace wellness as a way of life. More people appear to be patronizing gyms, massage rooms and sauna centers. Others are getting more involved in aerobics and instructional physical workouts, while for a sizable chunk of the population, it's all about eating right, knowing what to eat, in what proportion and at what time. Well, joining us to have a chat around this is Lorenzo Umba, who is the founder of Waka Community International Foundation, an initiative that's committed to building a community of leaner, fitter, healthier, and ultimately happier people through walking and eating right. Welcome to the program.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
I'll tell you, we're all excited, especially at Ifemi. I just put you on the spot.
Thank you.
To have you in here. Yeah, because what we all want to know is how we can keep fit, especially during this festive period.
Fantastic. Keeping fit, first of all, and staying healthy is a personal responsibility. It's not a fad, it's a lifestyle. It requires discipline, it requires consistency, and it requires a lot of sacrifice. So it's a journey, not a destination. It's a marathon, not a dash. Now, with that point made, there are a few things. It's not a chore, really. At Waka Community International, we are committed to building a community, global community out of Nigeria, of people who are fitter, who are leaner, who are healthier, and who are ultimately happier by doing just two things: working and eating right. I didn't say dieting.
Walking and eating right.
You bet.
So I've heard that it's like the best form of exercise. You have to let us know how many minutes do we have to walk, what do we have to do in terms of walking and in terms of eating right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We say to our members in Waka Community International, and that's what's recommended globally, that's almost like a gold standard, to walk 30 minutes each day. If you can walk much longer, all fine and dandy. But walk 30 minutes each day, and it doesn't have to be in a stretch. I mean, at a stretch, you can take your time. Now, you guys are in offices right here. Keep your remote controls away from your desks so that when you won't go change your channel, you just go pick it up. It all trickles down. And then about eating is about controlled portions. I mean, if anybody said to you to try and cut off certain types of food, except on medical grounds, it's often going to be a challenge to keep up to that. As human beings, laws are not complied with if they're very difficult to keep up with. We're just human. You try a little bit, that's the same thing with New Year resolutions and stuff like that. You make them, you break them. So what we say in Waka Community International is Waka, whether you walk indoors or you walk outdoors, it's all to you. I mean, it's all up to you. Just Waka, and then eat controlled portions. That's it. Just keep being consistent at it.
Okay, well, I mean, you said that what you're doing is neither a fad nor a chore, which resonates with me. But then I see all around me a heavy dose of merchandising, branded T-shirts, branded trainers, all decked up just to Waka. And I'm like, if you move out of affluent estates and areas where, middle class, upper middle class people live, what's your message to those who are not looking like, this is, some people are attracted just to look like the people that they see on the street. Do you know what I mean, OJ? So I'm saying many people that I know are drawn into this because, gymming has even become a kind of clubbing, because your friends are there, and you are gisting more than you're doing any other thing, So if it's not a fad and not a chore, what is it really?
Thanks a lot for that question, okay? At Waka Community International, we say to our members, and by the way, we are in 25 countries the last time I checked, and growing 25 countries around the world, yes. So even though about 77% of my members are from Nigeria, but we're just name it, we're there and keeps growing. we must be doing something right. We are not, by the way, walking is non-discriminatory on grounds of physical ability, on grounds of your age, your gender. So whether you are an elite or whether you are bottom of the pyramid, we all walk anyways. I mean, we all walk. I mean, I'm a grandfather. My 3-year-old, 3 years and 3 months old grandson goes on walks with a puppy. So everybody walks, okay? It's not a competition. I must specify that. And so you can walk bare feet indoors on the beach, or you can walk in nicely fitting running shoes. They don't have to be pricey. Once you're able to walk around in them, then you're good. So we have, in terms of social community classes, we have the high and mighty, and we have those who are not exactly there, but aspirational. Okay? So what you're wearing really has nothing to do with the output of what you're getting.
Yeah.
So just waka.
So I feel as though I've had a few indirects thrown at me from the beginning of this interview from OG. I want to clarify, it's because OG knows I work out a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
She knows I walk a lot, I go to the gym a lot, I have a few trainers.
My inspiration.
Awesome. That's good to hear, by the way.
So thank you, appreciate it. But in all seriousness, I know that you talked about how there aren't barriers to walking for the sake, in terms of economics, anybody can do it, right? But also, you'll be well aware that there are members of the community, Nigerians here, who aren't able to. There are physical disabilities, people who are paralyzed, still very much alive, but actually can't walk. And they may want to know how they can keep fit and how they can contribute to their personal fitness. Do you have any advice for those members of the community at large? Because they too shouldn't be left out of the benefits of a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely. Keeping fit is all inclusive. I mean, it should be universal. Whether anyone can be physically challenged at any point in time. I mean, the fact that that's why we have like the Invictus. You know, the Invictus games for veterans, who are exactly not as they used to be, who are contending with a few physical challenges. Yeah. That hasn't stopped them from keeping fit, eh? So whether you're wheelchair bound or whether you're not, there are exercises you can embark on, even whilst you're seated. I mean, it's all about motions. Okay, keep moving, just moving. Generate some activity in what you're doing. And that's how to keep fit with limitations that you have. But for those who don't have to contend with those limitations, we say to them, just waka and control what you eat. And trust me, the results are there. We already have tons of testimonials by members who are saying, oh, this is like the best kept secret, to be honest. Walking is the earliest form of exercise known to man, and by the safest too. Okay, it doesn't put any pressure on your joints if you're someone that's living with arthritis or it runs in your family. If you're someone, by the way, among the many benefits of walking are the following. It helps boosting your mood and your mind, which is wonderful. Talk of mental health issues. It helps with getting rid of unwanted fat and maintaining healthy weight. It helps with dealing with type 2 diabetes. It also helps contend with a few heart diseases. There are tons of benefits that you get from walking.
Can I come in, Oji? Sorry,
Yes,
just
sure.
In terms of seeking your thoughts on specific recommendations. Yes, walking is fine. I mean, it's my favorite, But then what is ideal? The Americans, who, by the way, are apparently dealing with a different level of obesity, will say 10,000 steps a day.
Right.
But the Chinese, who started these, totally, will say that do 6,000. But then if you have every other thing working for you, 3,000 steps should be your minimum, depending on what you're dealing with, but they recommend 6,000. So one is what's ideal and what constitutes an ideal recommendation. Two, you talk about food and what's good. If you're dealing with a fairly healthy, no major, what was that word during COVID? What was the thing that you had to be careful of, so that you stay away from COVID thing? Underlining factors.
Oh, yes. Pre-existing health conditions.
Exactly.
Yes.
In a day or 2 or 3, how would you describe what a gentleman should eat? Morning, afternoon, night. And then lastly, the part that you have not mentioned in all these, if you get it all correctly, I was reading the other time of a guy, 46, all fit, always gymming and everything. CEO, he dropped dead while gymming. Guess what they traced to? He hardly ever slept.
Oh, lack of sleep.
Inadequate sleep. Which is one part that, has not come in all we have been discussing. How important is sleep after you have tried to be fit, you walk a lot, you eat right, but then sleep? How does it come in?
Awesome. First is that whether you walk 10,000 steps a day or whether you walk 6,000 steps a day, both are better than not walking at all. So if you can, and again, there's no one size that fits all, okay? But if you can, try and do between 6 and 10. Okay. If you have the ability to go beyond 10, fine and dandy. There are people who do up to 15.
Daily?
You bet. Okay? Combined in all you do. Say it again?
I do 13.
Just so
That's fine. You're good.
Don't mind me.
No, you're good.
she does.
Okay. Overall fitness has to be a combo of aerobic and anaerobic exercises. Mm-hmm. So aerobic is a cardio movement, motion.
Yeah.
Anaerobic is stationary. That's why you have the A. Anaerobic is stationary and with weights. Yes. So that you turn up and you're firm. Not to build muscles, just to be firm, just to turn up. About the guy who dropped was working. Yeah. Sleep is essential. Good quality sleep, by the way. It's recommended that on the average, depending on your age, you should do about 6 to 8 hours of good sleep. Rapid eye movement sleep, REM sleep. You need that for proper recuperation of the body. Also, it's important that we mention that you must also rehydrate.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not talking sodas and pops and stuff like that. Real water. I mean, I do 2 to 3 liters every day, which is essential for maintaining good skin texture and looking good, because we lose a lot of salts, the sun, the weather, and all of that. So you got to get it back in there. So these are a few things that I'm going to have to say. And also, for anybody who's going to engage in some physical activity, it's nice to do what's called a PARQ, physical activity questionnaire, so that you're sure you're ready to engage in that can excite you a little bit. And
What about the food? The food part?
Yeah.
I
was going to ask
the food, fantastic. The food is, as we get older, and we're going to be getting older, okay, eat that which is a lot more natural and non-processed than that which is. I can understand that living in a city like Lagos and most big towns, the race against time for a lot of things that we do, with dealing with stressors, you're likely to just grab and go. See if you can make it. You can't go wrong with grains. There's a typical Canadian suggestion. Divide your plate into 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Make sure they're all colorful. You have the greens, the veggies. You have the fruits, the yellows and the oranges. Yeah. In terms of colors. See if you can go easy on the carbohydrates. Cut off as many of the sugars as you can. If you can't, don't do them at all. If you must do sugars, let them be natural sugars, like dates, like sugar cane, not processed sugar. And as you get older, again, you got to be. Make sure you check your health. Do annual checks as much as you can. It's something that often not focused on in this part of the world, but it's worth doing, and it doesn't have to be expensive.
You make it sound very easy. I mean, it does appear as though you are advocating for those who want to maintain their weight. What about those who want to actually lose weight? I know you've just mentioned stay away from carbohydrate if you can. Is that a method? Is that a way to actually lose weight? I mean, I don't know if somebody who wants to lose weight doing 30 minutes a day walking and just controlled portion can help.
Good. See, like I did say before, it depends on what your goals and objectives are. If your goal is to lose weight, you got to do more than someone who doesn't want to lose weight. So if your intention is to lose weight, I have what's called, it's proprietary. It's called muscle confusion. Okay? The muscle confusion is about just walking. But you go to work, and I'm going to give it out free right now. You go to work minimum 10,000 steps every day, and you go to work 5 days in a 7-day weekend with 2 days off. So, and sometimes also you go to work back to back. So like you're going to work in the evening, you're going to work the next morning, you're going to work the evening, so that you cycle, keep it shorter than 24 hours break, so that your body doesn't just go into a state where you're almost like having to start afresh to gain the momentum. If you do that and do that for three months, I bet you are bound to lose about 10 to 15 pounds.
Wow.
Really?
Proven.
So 10,000 steps, walk every day, 5 days a week.
5 days a week. But you're going to get sore.
Yeah.
5 days a week, 2 days rest.
Yeah.
And eat controlled portions. And eat healthy, balanced, and sleep and rehydrate appropriately.
Well, that's not a secret. That's what I
Oji,
do.
is this recommendation for you or for
Yes,
somebody else?
For me.
You're trying to lose weight.
For anybody who really wants
For
to.
everybody. It does work, I'll tell you,
betcha.
because I do that.
Oh, there we go.
When I want to lose 10 pounds, that's exactly what I do. Yes, I walk 5 days a week, rest 2 days.
And again, don't just take my word for it. If you went to the Waka Community International platform, you will see testimonials by people who say this is worked for them. Okay? So what's keeping you?
The people in your community, they from what you have said, they won't sound like those who will do a bowl of nkwobi or isewu with a bottle or two of cold beer at the end of it all.
Being that I'm from where I'm from, I'm not going to go knocking nkwobi, okay? But again, I mean, I don't do nkwobi, okay? I don't do sodas as well. There are a lot of things that I don't do because I've maintained a healthy lifestyle for, like I said, it's a lifestyle. I've maintained it for very long. I'm close to 60. Okay.
Everybody's revealing their ages.
Because
It's just fashionable these days too.
Yeah, but you've got to do that. And by the way, talking of walking, on the 7th of May, I invite you and anybody else who's listening.
Okay.
We have a major Waka event in Lagos.
Yeah.
Our takeoff time is 6:30 in the morning. Church of Divine Mercy on Admiralty Way.
Okay.
We walk for 5 kilometers. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
There will be a health talk by Dr. Adetukumba Alakija, who's the chairman of the Lagos State Health Management Agency. He's going to talk a lot about wellness and sleeping and all of that.
Yeah.
There are going to be CPR and first aid demonstrations, which is very vital and essential for reacting in emergency situations by official first responders of health emergency initiatives.
Yeah.
Okay? And of course, there'll be music, there'll be water, there'll be smoothies, there are energy bars, all approved. So
That sounds very good.
Come out and watch.
Just like a friend of mine, Ayuali Masham, did last year, Walk for Life. You know, I think I did about 17,000 steps, you know, which was wow, you know. So, I mean, this sounds fabulous. So I think we, you know, are looking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For people who walk, I think the environment you live in definitely plays a role in that. And it's very interesting that you have this event coming up. There are many events in Lagos, in and around Nigeria, where the art of walking is promoted. But I do want to ask you, it sounds as though you've spent some time in other countries. And when you compare the road infrastructure of other countries to Nigeria, do you think it makes it easier for people to walk? Because as a walker, when I first moved to Lagos, it was very difficult for me. I mean, let me not be ridiculous, because I had the privilege of where I live, you can just walk around that estate. But when you come out of the estate, it seems as though Lagos, for example, is built for motor travelers and not really for people who are walking. So when you look at your own experience, do you think that it's harder for people to walk because of the type of infrastructure we have? We don't really have sidewalks, we don't really have barriers that protect pedestrians, we don't really have crossings that drivers listen to. And do you understand what I mean? So it can be quite a discouraging, it can also be quite intimidating. If somebody's watching this now and they actually do want to walk and they don't live in an enclosed community, they would have to walk alongside vehicles, which is quite difficult. If you want to go for a morning walk with your family, it's one of the things that keeps Nigerians, I think, from walking as a form of exercise. What do you think?
You're right. But what I'd like to do is not dwell on what the challenge is, and instead think of solutions to it, how you deal with everyday issues. We wish there were more sidewalks. That would have made life a lot easier. But it is what it is, and we have to deal with it. So we say to people, walk as much as you can whilst maintaining some safety and convenience. Sometimes you have to walk in the evenings when traffic is lighter, or choose a time that is lighter for you. Walk in the opposite direction of an oncoming traffic so that the guy sees you or the lady sees you and you see them as well. Okay? Keep to as much the side of the road as you can, to the shoulders, to the curbs as you can. And if you are fortunate to live within a gated community, please walk. For those who have access to stadia or enclosed environments where you can walk, try and make our time scheduled to go there. For those who have offices where they can walk down the flight of stairs, do that, because it all adds up. You know, I just said to you, whatever you got to do to generate some movement and some motion, please do it. 100 meters of wakaing is better than zero wakaing. By the way, wakaing is a lingo we have, so we like to say waka.
Steve actually had to let me know what waka meant, because I was mispronouncing it. He was explaining to me that it's waka, and it means to walk.
Yeah.
Now you say it. Let me give you a bit of background to why we came up with that name, okay? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I've lived in a few countries. I lived in Canada for like 20 families in Canada. One of my sisters in Dallas had said to me, Lawrence, you've been keeping me for so long. Why don't you share with the world your gift? That was what led to my putting a structure to the way that I had always worked. Okay? And Waka Community is just 8 months old. So in thinking of branding, okay, my background is pretty checkered. Strategy, marketing, and all that. So I said, okay, how are we going to have a community that's going to be different from the rest of the Joneses? Waka in Pidgin, in Nigeria, means to go, to take a walk. I don't walk out. Okay? And we said, okay, and it's easy to pronounce as well.
Yes.
So it fits in perfectly with what it is that we're about, which is walking.
Yeah.
So we say to you, Waka. And again, it helps build a complete identity, totally different brand, knowing that it's a global phenomenon, that it's actually growing, believe me, growing phenomenally. We have, last night I got a call from someone in Arlington, Texas. Okay, we have, just go on the platform, you see tons of memberships. But Waka is common to all of us. It's a Nigerian brand growing worldwide. So why not keep it as proudly local as you can?
Right.
Waka.
So your event on May 7th is completely free?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? So what is the incentive for that?
For you to attend?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. One, you're going to get a free t-shirt.
Okay.
You're going to get free health talks you're not paying for. You're going to get free demonstrations of CPR and first aid that should have cost you some amount of money.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to bond with people. There's room for networking. Okay. You're going to Waka.
What is the incentive for you?
Oh, for us?
Yes.
A lot of what we're doing is altruistic. I must be frank with you. It said that if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life.
I see.
We love what we're doing.
Yeah.
Money is not the focus at the moment. Money will come because we're building the numbers that will attract advertisers and brand owners. So we've got sponsors for this event. So for them, there'll be the eyeballs. You're going to have, on the average, about 500 people physically working that day, and online, no less than 2,200 people, 2,200 people who are members of Waka, and others who are well-wishers. So it makes sense. So we're spreading, we're evangelizing right now.
It's the perfect way to do.
Yeah,
So,
to do it.
Well, it's a Bombay.
Yeah, but what does it take to be a member of the community, the Waka community?
Fantastic. It's no requirements, no prerequisites. Keeping fit is your responsibility. It would be nice if you did. We'll be happy not to hear a lot of gone too soon, okay? So we are on social media. We're on Facebook. If you just checked Waka Community International, click a button, and you're right there smack in the middle of Waka Community. We encourage you. You read a lot of motivational stuff from other people. You get into banters with other people. There are wellness tips for you to leverage and benefit from. And that's it. And if you choose to upload your own Waka, or your stats, or your videos, or your photos, whenever you do to motivate other people, please do. We're all about changing lives, one Waka at a time. We're on Twitter, same Waka Community. We're on YouTube and other social media platforms, by proxy on TikTok, by proxy on Instagram. So it's pretty simple. It's easy, it's simple, and you can invite your friends. Man is communal by nature, so we like to do things in groups. So whether it's OJ, whether it's Steve, whether it's a different me, just join and get your friends, family, associates, and others to join as well, so that together we're building a community of leaner, fitter, healthier, and ultimately happier people.
Okay.
Waka makes sense, trust me.
Wow.
Well, I mean, like we say in my own part of the hood, everybody gets your own Waka.
There we go. There we go. We said that. Everybody get your own Waka. Waka makes sense.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Lorenzo.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Just to say happy Easter. My love to your families.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. God bless Nigeria.
Same to you.
Thank you. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you indeed.